What is going on, everyone? Badger here. Sure, like and sub, and let's get into this. Well, we're now 2 seasons into a planned 5 seasons of The Rings of Power on Amazon. Obviously, only 37% of people even finished that first season. This second season, everyone has checked out except us, punished to watch it, to talk about it. And even those views have been cut in half. So, word of mouth on the Lord of the Rings universe is at an all-time low, thanks to that show, which is in part why I think they're trying to do these movies. Aside from that, just to, try to make money on whatever's left. And that's where we get The Hunt for Gollum, which was met with a resounding, why? Why would you do that? But, money and maybe to try and turn this ship around. We've also got that War of the Rohirrim movie coming out that's an American, I guess you can't call it anime unless it's made in Japan, but anime style. That it was worrisome, but here we go. This is Ian McKellen. He was on the morning show, and he's 85, by the way. So no matter what they're going to do, they better do it. And, of course, obviously, he played Gandalf in the Lord of the Rings trilogy and the Hobbit trilogy. The Hobbit trilogy is, of course, where they used a lot more CGI, and that's where you can see him breaking down and crying during one of the scenes, because most actors get into it to act with other people and be on sets that look lovingly recreated, and it all helps get you into character and so on and so forth. And he was just in a big blue room talking to himself. So on that appearance on the morning, McKellen said, well, all I know is, no, I'm not going to do it. Well, all I know is that they called me up and said these films were going to happen, mainly be about Gollum. Andy Serkis, who played Gollum, is going to direct, and there would be a script arriving sometime in the new year. That's next year. And then I'll judge whether I want to go back. So they basically said, these are happening with or without you. Do you want to be Gandalf, or do you want to have someone else play it, right? And next year, man, still 2024, so we got to get all the way to 2025 before he even sees a script, let alone starts filming. He continued, but I would love to go back to New Zealand, number one, and I also don't like the idea of anybody else playing. I don't think anyone likes the idea of anyone else playing Gandalf. When I asked if there was more than one film, McKellen said, I'm told it's 2 films. I probably shouldn't be saying, but I haven't read the script, and I don't know when it is, and I don't even know where it'll be filmed, because these days I could probably film it all in London, but I'd rather not. I'd rather go back to New Zealand. And it's funny, when he was saying that he'd rather, I was thinking, like, bro, they're probably going to make you film it in London the way they do Rings of Power. Yeah. So he didn't have a script yet. He was told there were 2 movies, but that could change in the time, in the meantime, so as noted, Andy Serkis is directing, for sure confirmed, one of the films called Hunt for Gollum, but if it's part 1 and 2, I assume he would be filming it all, and then it'll be split into 2. And he's joined as, so this is what should fill us with heart, should make us take heart and be happy, right? Because it's Andy Serkis. Everyone loves Andy Serkis. Great actor, great character actor. He's Gollum. He knows all the books. He's got a beautiful audiobook of all of them where he narrates it. Peter Jackson, Fran Walsh, Philippa Boyens, these are all the ones that came back the first time. Peter Jackson famously is on Chris Rose or Charlie Rose when he was saying that everyone plays the clip, right? Of him saying that the only ideology and messaging that we wanted to put into the films is those of Tolkien himself. Basically, the complete polar opposite of what a JD and Patrick, McKay's over there at Amazon have done, where they just think they know so much. They think they're so smarty party, and they try to change everything and just, we know what Tolkien meant to say or would have said and all that dumb shit, which is why this is all very worrying, even if it has the same people, because as we've seen, some of the same people, well, they don't exactly think like they used to, and they don't exactly have the same ability. Film heads Mike DeLuca and Pam Abdi revealed they would be making at least 2 films. Now, I think a lot of us assumed that one was The Hunt for Gollum, and that maybe the other one was they were connected to the War for the Rohirrim. So yeah, they basically confirming the fact that this movie is going to be 2 films. Dear God, Peter Jackson, you go, why would he come back? So he explains to Deadline that the Gollum or Smeagol character has always fascinated him because Gollum reflects the worst of human nature, whilst his Smeagol side is arguably quite sympathetic. I think he connects with readers and film audiences alike because there's a little bit of both of them in all of us. We really want to explore his backstory and delve into those parts of his story we didn't have time to cover in the earlier films. It's too soon to know who we'll cross paths with, but suffice to say, we will take our lead from Professor Tolkien. So, and again, those guys over at Amazon say the same thing, but I actually believe Peter when he says that because he was saying that from the beginning and he actually did it. Yeah, not only did he reveal, but you go back, that reveals that the Hunt for Gollum, the Boyens, who will be writing the film alongside Walsh and Phoebe Gittins and Artie Papagiorgio. I'm going to have to look up at what they've done. Again, they're talking about Gollum and how compelling they are as a character. And because he has such a long lifespan, they think that that's rife for storytelling, I guess. And even our own chat, we've had to ask, shout out to Bly of We're Run, who told us, like, no, remember that scene where obviously Gandalf gives the ring to Frodo and says, keep it secret, keep it safe. And he goes to Gondor and it looks like it's a montage of weeks to months of him searching for information. That is like years, apparently. And so in those years, Gandalf enlists the help of Aragorn, and as we're hearing, Orlando Bloom, so Legolas, to hunt for the creature. He says, I hunted for the creature Gollum. Orlando Bloom was asking, like, so how's that going to work? He says, I really don't know what they're planning. I did speak to Andy Serkis, and he did say that we're thinking about how to do things. This is Orlando Bloom, who plays Legolas. He says, I was like, how would that even work? And he was like, well, AI. And I was like, oh, okay. It was a pretty magical time in my life, and it's one of those things where there's not a downside to it. And yeah, it just goes on to all of them saying that they think this will be good. I don't know how they think this is going to be good. And you're going to turn 2 hours of a de-aged Aragorn and Legolas searching. I don't hear. And then says that they're addressing the naysayers. Well, I do believe I am a naysayer with a capital hard R there. So let's see. She addressed potential naysayers. This film is going to work in its own way, and that's our job. That's what we are going to have to be able to do. I know there's plenty of people out there who will be like, oh no, why are they doing this? Yes, I think this is what we're all talking about right now. Why are they going back in? Well, that's our job, to prove why we think that's a good idea. And you know what? You're right. So prove it. Prove it. Show us this is the movie we didn't know we needed. I don't know if you're going to be able to do that, but hey, at least she knows it's their job to prove it. And then Serkis, who obviously he better have a damn good reason because he's not only directing, but he's playing the character. He, much like Peter Jackson, said that the Gollum character has always stuck with him throughout all of the years. He's read all the audiobooks of the trilogy and the Silmarillion and the Hobbit. So Tolkien's world has never left him since they've done all those films. The character particularly has remained an enormous part of his life, and it's absolutely thrilling to go back and deep dive into his world again, and specifically into Gollum's psychology. I mean, famously neurotic Gary, he talks about how what attracted Gollum to him as a child was that Gollum was a tortured creature enslaved to the ring. And as he got older, he realized that the ring could very easily be looked at as an analogy for drug use or addiction. That ring, the precious, that you don't care about anything else but that damn ring, or that damn drug, or that damn gamble. So, you know, it's not that there's not a bunch of pathos and interesting things to delve into on the Gollum character. It's just we've been spoiled in the bad way by Rings of Power. And so anyone talking about anything, trying to do anything with Tolkien's work these days is like, how about you just keep Tolkien's name out your mouth? Because every time you guys bring them up, you do something that's an abomination. Aside from other characters that, besides Gollum, he says that's a difficult question to answer right at this moment, again, because they only have a script, because we're really in the nascent stages of what exactly it is that they're doing. So I don't want to commit to anything right now. I mean, because it's so raw and wriggling, like fish. Yeah. So that's basically to say that it's all up for grabs. No word yet on Viggo Mortensen. He basically just came out in an article saying he doesn't care about franchises or anything. The only thing he cares about is the story, the character and the story. This is all he cares about. So presumably if they throw enough money at him and they say some fun things about character and story, he would come back too. Because really it seems like he's going to be the star of the damn film unless they come up with a brave new, stunning, light-skinned, ambiguously gay or straight black woman. I think would be the only way to go for 2024 in the modern audience. Anyway, let me know what you think about all this. Should like, share, and sub. If you have done that, thank you. If you're going to do that, thank you.
Well, bye.